Hi, I'm Jen with Orange Mod Works, and today we'll be going over how we make darts here in the workshop. To make a dart for a Nerf blaster is not very difficult, but there are a few things that you should keep in mind. In this video, we'll be going over some philosophies on the dart tip and a simple way to get the perfect dart head every time. Here are some examples of homemade darts. The tip of homemade darts determines how the dart will cut through the air during flight. It is important for the tip to be centered over the dart body, and if you choose to weight the dart, the weight must be centered within the dart tip. Adding weights to darts sacrifices distance for greater accuracy. Weighted darts are ideal for outdoor play where you have to work with different wind conditions and you don't have to worry about breaking things in your house. A weighted dart combined with a high-power Nerf blaster from the 90s, like the Secret Shot 2, is a force to be reckoned with and performs more like a paintball gun than a Nerf blaster. The most common way to make your own darts involve using foam backer rod, hot glue, and a BB or lead shot. These darts are more commonly known as Stephans, and for the most part they work great, especially in rotating barrel style blasters like the Maverick. They tend to jam magazine-fed blasters without sealed breeches like the Angel breech, but we'll get into that with more detail in the next video. Okay, so to make your own perfectly formed dart tips, you will need a thick rubber cork, like this one. You pick these up at a hardware store, a drill, and a grinding bit, or some other way to cut a bullet-shaped head into the rubber. And you also need silicone lubricant, like this stuff, a hot glue gun, and BBs or lead shot if you want to weigh down the darts. Okay, so the first step is to take the drill and grind out pits into the rubber, and this will become your mold for the hot glue. It's a good idea to go shallow at first, and if you need them to be deeper, you can always go back and grind it out more. Just experiment so you get a shape that you're satisfied with. When you're satisfied with the mold, spray the holes with the silicone lubricant. And this prevents the hot glue from sticking, and then fill them with hot glue. If you want to add weights, fill the mold halfway, add the weight, and then fill the rest of the way. Wait a few minutes and pull your dart heads out of the mold, and they should be ready to use. Okay, so I've got my hot glue gun heated up right here and pre-lubed mold. I'm going to go ahead and just let the hot glue fill it in and let it mound over the top slightly, and if it's hot enough it will just settle down and even out. It's better to let your hot glue gun sit a little longer than you normally would. Let the glue get a tad hotter so it will seep in and fill that mold really well. So you just let that dry, get that out of the way, and don't rush it, just wait for it to dry completely, because if you start poking at it you're going to get funny shaped bullet heads. And we'll pry that out in a minute, but here's an example of a weighted head. We used a plastic airsoft BB, and as you can see this is a well done head with the BB perfectly centered in there. That's what you want. So this is an unweighted head right there, and it takes a couple minutes, so towards the end of the video I'll go ahead and pry this out. Alright, so while we let that dry, I just want to talk to you about your more traditionally made Stefan, where you take the hot glue gun and you make a hole and you put the BB in there and you got to make that dome. I mean, I'm sure we've all been there, you know, and it's pretty tough to get it first, but what we're doing here is we're pre-making the heads like these two, and then you can just attach them to your pre-straightened piece of backer rod, and it's much simpler. You get a nice even bullet-shaped head every time. It looks kind of like a 40 SMW. So let's see. Alright, that's about good to go. And you may have to work it with a screwdriver. I mean, it's hot glue, it's not exactly delicate, but you still want to be careful. Just work it around like that. You can take your fingernail and just pop it out, and look at that. Brand new dart head, and it's decently heavy. It's a lot of hot glue. A lot of times you don't have to weigh them down, but that's what we're looking for. And that's it. In our next video we'll be going over different style dart bodies and their functions, and we hope to see you in our next video. Thanks a lot.